The Philadelphia Eagles are right back in the headlines this week, and not exactly for the reasons fans would want. Just when it looked like the team was settling into a rhythm, the injury bug has bitten again, and this time it's affecting an area of the game that often gets overlooked until it goes wrong: special teams. First, it was Nolan Smith hitting injured reserve with that lingering triceps issue. Now, it's veteran long snapper Charlie Hewlett heading to IR, raising concerns about a unit that has quietly become one of the strengths of this Eagles squad over the past couple of seasons. Let's be honest here. Long snappers rarely get mentioned unless there's a disaster. But with Hewlett going down and the team signing free agent Cal Adamitis, it's a reminder of how fragile the balance can be on special teams. This isn't just about snapping the ball. It's about timing, rhythm, chemistry, all the little things that make a kick or a punt go smoothly. And when those get disrupted, it can spell trouble, especially for a team with championship aspirations. Adamitis, a Pittsburgh native who signed with the Bengals as an undrafted free agent out of Pitt in 2022, brings some experience. He suited up for nearly 50 games in his career, but was cut this summer after losing a competition to a rookie. Now he's stepping into a pressure cooker in Philadelphia, where expectations are sky high. Whether he can stabilize the snapping situation quickly remains to be seen, but there's no margin for error in this phase of the game. Special teams can be the difference between winning and losing. Just ask anyone who watched the Eagles in Super Bowl 57, when the Chiefs took advantage of that very aspect to tilt the game their way. Head coach Nick Sirianni has emphasized complementary football from day one, playing smart, sound football across offense, defense, and special teams. You don't want breakdowns in that third phase. They're rare, but when they happen, they're brutal. It's part of why Hewlett was brought in last year. After Jake Elliott struggled, especially from long range, the team wanted more consistency in the snap-to-kick operation. And to be fair, it worked. Elliott has been lights out this year. Perfect on field goals, 3 for 3 from 50-plus yards, a major bounce back from a season ago when he was just 1 for 7 on long-range kicks. That resurgence isn't just about Elliott. It's about the snap. It's about the hold. It's about Braden Mann booming punts with precision. So yeah, replacing the long snapper isn't a footnote. It's a real concern, and Adamitis will need to be sharp from day one. The fact that Rick Lovato, a 2-time Super Bowl champ and longtime Eagle, is now with the Chargers makes it clear there's no returning to old solutions. The team chose to move on, and now they need their new guy to be flawless in a high-pressure environment. But Hewlett's injury wasn't the only roster shakeup this week. Linebacker Obi Okonkwo was also placed on IR, while the team released Lance Dixon from the practice squad, leaving them with one open roster spot heading into the weekend. For now, that spot remains unfilled, though it's not going to be used on Kenyon Green. He's been scooped up by the Ravens, who are dealing with a mountain of injuries themselves. Baltimore's bad luck only strengthens the argument that the Chiefs might be on track for yet another deep playoff run, especially with Buffalo's defense looking shaky. It's early, but Kansas City might be positioning itself for another AFC title push if they stay healthy and keep stacking wins. Back in Philly, the spotlight continues to shine on wide receiver A.J. Brown. The cryptic tweets, the body language on the sideline, the chatter, it's all become a subplot that just won't go away. Offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo finally weighed in, emphasizing that his relationship with Brown is strong and echoing Sirianni's message. AJ just wants to help this team win. That's it. He wants to contribute. And while some pundits have speculated that there's something deeper brewing, the Eagles' coaching staff has stayed unified in their message. The reality is, Brown has been incredibly productive since arriving in Philly. 2 contract extensions, over 1,000 receiving yards every year, a Super Bowl title. He's earned the right to want the ball, to want to make plays. But there's also a fine line. Wanting to contribute is great, but wanting out because of a temporary dip in targets? That's where it gets dangerous. The grass isn't always greener, and Brown would be wise to consider just how good he's got it here. A high-powered offense, a creative coaching staff, a quarterback who trusts him, and a city that adores him when he's rolling. Patullo acknowledged that the offense hasn't been perfect. There have been issues with rhythm and flow, especially in the second half of games. That killer instinct they had early on seems to disappear at times. The coaching staff knows it. They've admitted it. They're watching film, making corrections. The team has faced some top-tier defenses early in the season. Steve Spagnuolo's Chiefs, the Rams who came in as the #1 defense, and of course, a Todd Bowles unit that's always tough. These are not easy matchups, and the offense has had to adapt every single week. And let's not pretend the A.J. Brown storyline is all about stats. This is a player who understands the nuances of the game. He knows how momentum works. He's been around long enough to see how one big play can change everything. And that's why the frustration is real. In that recent game, the Eagles were humming in the first half. They had rhythm, they had energy. Then the momentum shifted. A monster 65-yard field goal right before halftime completely flipped the feel of the game. From there, the offense never got back into a groove. That stuff matters. Games change on moments like that. And when you're a player like A.J. Brown, you feel those swings more than anyone. Still, the staff believes Brown's breakout is coming. He's too talented, too important, too explosive to be quiet for long. The offense will evolve. Adjustments will be made. That's what Sirianni's team does. They adapt. They find answers. And if the past few seasons have taught us anything, it's that the Eagles are one of the best in the league at mid-season self-correction. They find what's not working and fix it quickly. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of the ball, there's growing intrigue around cornerback Kelee Ringo. After a strong showing against Tampa Bay, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio was asked if Ringo could become a full-time starter. His answer? Possibly. That alone is a big endorsement. Ringo, targeted 3 times, gave up just 1 catch for 8 yards and had a nice pass breakup. Yes, there were some missed tackles, but the physical tools are obvious. He's fast. He's strong. He plays with confidence. And frankly, with the way the position group has been banged up, giving a young guy like Ringo real reps might be the smartest long-term move. Especially if the alternative is Adoree Jackson, who hasn't exactly separated himself with his play this year. The linebacker situation also got a jolt this week with news that Nakobe Dean's practice window has officially opened. It's a ridiculously fast recovery from that torn patellar tendon he suffered back in January. But here's the thing. This linebacker group has been rock solid without him. Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond have been one of the most effective duos in the entire league, both statistically and on tape. Their versatility, speed, and physicality have transformed the second level of this defense. Fangio made it clear. As good as Dean is, there's no plan right now to shake up what's working. Jahad Campbell has been flat out better, and taking him off the field just to get Dean back into the mix would be a disservice to the entire unit. That doesn't mean Dean won't have a role. He will. He can sub in, rotate, maybe get looks when Campbell moves to the edge. But let's be clear. This is Campbell's group now. And with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. waiting in the wings as another potential future starter, the linebacker room is looking deep, young, and ready to dominate for years to come. As for Dean, he's likely playing for a job somewhere else next season. The Eagles probably won't re-sign him, not because he's not talented, but because they simply don't have the need. It's a numbers game, and right now, the Eagles have the depth and development pipeline to let him walk in free agency without blinking. Still, for this season, Dean can be a valuable piece, a high IQ player who knows the system and can step in when needed without missing a beat. And that's the theme here, depth. The Eagles, despite the injuries and setbacks, are still loaded with talent. But this next stretch of games will be all about how well they can adapt. How quickly can Adamitis get up to speed at long snapper? Can A.J. Brown find his rhythm and get back to being a weekly game changer? Will the coaching staff continue to make the in-game and in-season adjustments that have become their trademark under Sirianni? Let's stay with this A.J. Brown situation for a bit, because it's more layered than just a frustrated wide receiver who wants more targets. In today's NFL, elite players know their value. They know what they bring to the table. And more importantly, they know how fragile a championship window can be. AJ has tasted that success already. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's felt the heartbreak. He knows what it takes to get back. So when the touches don't come, when the production dips and the offense stalls, he's not just thinking about his stats. He's thinking about wins, legacy, and his role in making sure this team doesn't fall short again. But the thing is, expressing frustration publicly, even indirectly through cryptic tweets or passive-aggressive body language, opens the door for speculation. And right now, that door is wide open. What makes it even more intense is the media storm that follows every move he makes. From local shows to national analysts, everyone is dissecting every quote, every tweet, every sideline interaction. And yeah, maybe some of it is overblown, but let's not pretend like that stuff doesn't seep into the locker room. The coaching staff has to manage that energy. The quarterback has to keep the relationship strong. The offensive play calling has to reflect a balance between spreading the ball and keeping your stars engaged. And this is where Sirianni and Patullo need to shine. Because if AJ starts to mentally check out, if frustration becomes division, it can derail a season quickly. The good news? That hasn't happened yet. AJ is still locked in. He's still showing up, still practicing hard, still leading by example in many ways. But you can feel the tension building, and it needs to be resolved soon. On the field, it's not like he's been ignored. Sometimes defense is keying on him. Sometimes the game flow doesn't allow for a deep ball or a designed look. Sometimes the offense just gets into a rut. But what's undeniable is that A.J. Brown is the kind of weapon you build your passing game around. And with Devonta Smith still doing his thing, Dallas Goedert drawing attention in the middle, and the run game clicking, there should be room to feed everyone. It's about sequencing, timing, rhythm, and the Eagles are still trying to find the right formula. That has to happen sooner rather than later, because in this league, elite players don't wait forever. And speaking of patience, let's talk about the cornerback situation again, because it's evolving quickly. Kelee Ringo is showing flashes. He's fast, he's physical, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. The missed tackles are frustrating, but they're also teachable. What's more important is that he's holding up in coverage, understanding zone concepts better, and not getting lost against more polished route runners. That's progress. And with Darius Slay still finding his footing and Adoree Jackson not offering a major upgrade, the decision to develop Ringo in real time makes a lot of sense. Fangio has always preferred smart, aggressive corners who can handle physical matchups and recover quickly. Ringo fits that mold. He just needs time. The problem is the Eagles don't always have that luxury. Every game matters, every snap is scrutinized, and every mistake gets magnified when you're a team expected to compete for a championship. But if we're being real, this is what the season is going to be, a constant balancing act between development and performance, between patience and urgency, between riding with your veterans and building trust in your young talent. And that same tension exists at linebacker now that Nakobe Dean is back in the mix. What do you do when a highly respected, talented player returns from injury, but the guys who filled in have been lights out? That's the dilemma facing this coaching staff. Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond have been phenomenal. They're not just serviceable, they're making impact plays, forcing turnovers, shutting down the middle of the field. Taking either of them off the field just to reinsert Dean would be a mistake. Vic Fangio knows that. He said it plainly, not right now. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Philadelphia is buzzing with whispers that could shake the foundations of the Eagles' locker room. In a statement that has sent shockwaves through NFL circles, star running back Saquon Barkley reportedly declared, "If he comes back, I'm out of the Eagles." The cryptic comment, believed to reference former quarterback CARSON Wentz, has instantly ignited a firestorm of speculation among fans and analysts alike. Barkley, who has been a cornerstone of the Eagles' offensive strategy, is no stranger to high-stakes drama. Known for his explosive plays and unwavering competitiveness, his alleged ultimatum raises immediate questions about the team's future dynamics. Could Wentz's potential return trigger a mass exodus? Or is this just the latest chapter in the ongoing saga of player-coach tensions that have long surrounded Philadelphia? Sources close to the team claim the locker room has been rife with whispers since Barkley's statement went public. Some players reportedly see this as a genuine crossroads moment, a test of loyalty versus ambition, camaraderie versus personal career trajectory. Meanwhile, Eagles management has yet to comment, leaving room for all manner of speculation. Social media has erupted with theories, memes, and heated debates, each trying to interpret the true weight of Barkley's words. Analysts are dissecting the implications. Barkley's threat could be leverage, a signal to the front office, or a genuine expression of frustration. If Wentz were to return, would the Eagles risk losing one of their marquee talents, or could negotiations smooth over potential conflicts? The situation is a powder keg, and every fan, reporter, and insider is holding their breath for the next move. Whether it's a strategic play or a sincere warning, one thing is clear. The rumor mill surrounding Barkley and Wentz is now hotter than ever. Philadelphia, and the NFL at large, will be watching closely as this saga unfolds, knowing that a single decision could redefine the Eagles' season and reshape the team's very identity. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.